Friend of former boss blackballed me from a proposal over suspicions of my misrepresenting myself. Should I confront? Let's see. 42-year-old man left a small 13 boutique agency in 2021. He was there for 15 years. He was the executive vice president with the head of, let's see. He handled a lot of different responsibilities, he said. All right, let's see. He left on good terms. He was hired by a contractor after he left. He honored his non-compete. Did not pursue any agency clients, so no solicitation, non-competition issues. He provided a proposal to an inbound prospect. Let's see, no longer with the former agency, and they wanted to hire him as an independent contractor. As part of their due diligence, other estimates were collected and costs shared with their board of directors. A member of the board who owns a competing small business, and is friends with his former boss, raised questions about my ability to perform the work and suggested to the entire board that I had been misrepresenting myself and my contribution. Oh, I see. So the board member is friends with the former boss and doesn't want to give him the business, wants to give the boss the business. I was never invited to present to the board, so all this happened without my knowledge. As a result, which was a high priority, has been shelved and will likely be put out for an RFP again in a few months. And he works in reputation man. Oh, Joe, maybe no Joe. My friend Joe knows him. He's a solo entrepreneur. And he's not afraid of critical feedback and recognizes that scrutiny is commonplace. So it sounds like to me that the guy was on the board, knew the former boss, didn't want this kid or guy, a 42 kid, didn't want this guy getting the job because he either wanted to give it to the former company or just didn't like the fact that he worked for the former company and now is on his own. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I don't really see any legal issues there, but that kind of stuff is very, very typical. It happens. It happens quite often. If you're working for a company, you're getting there. You're meeting their people, meeting all their associates, et cetera, everyone that works with them, and eventually you're going to run into them again. If you stay in the same industry in the same part of the world, you're going to run into them again, and this kind of stuff is going to happen. It's an unfortunate but very realistic.
It's part of business.
Yeah, it's part of business. Yeah, move on.
Yep.
Just move on, and blackballed may be the right word for it. And there's nothing you can do about it. It just is what it is, right? We've all experienced stuff like that.
It's shitty, but it's part of what we go through.
It's like relationships, right? You date a girl, right? So let's use it from a guy-girl perspective. You date a girl, break up. Meet somebody else who knows that girl, she's not dating you. It's just not going to happen.
Nope.
Right? Oh, maybe in some cases, but in most cases, she's not going to date you if that relationship didn't end well. So even if it did end well, they're usually not going to date you. The bro code, what they call the bro code, right? Boys don't date
Correct.
their friends' girlfriends or ex-girlfriends.
Yes.
It's the bro code, right?
Correct.
I'm sure not everybody follows it, but most guys do.
Yes.
So...
And if they don't, there's trouble a lot of times and hard feelings.
That's right.
That's what this is.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. There's hard feelings probably somewhere, and unfortunately, it's just how it is. So, from a legal standpoint, again, not really much happening there, but from a business standpoint, very very typical. So you're lucky. He's even lucky he found out why, or he's lucky that he found out that the guy on the board was friends with the ex-boss. Yep. Otherwise, you'd be hanging forever not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
I've had times before when I had a marketing agency where it'd be almost a year later, we keep being strung along. Oh, yeah, we're going to make a decision. We're planning for this whole thing to go down, and then it never happens. And we never even get an answer. They never even say no. They just stop communicating at some point.
Yeah,
that happens. I'm sure that happens to you,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You talk to people, and then all of a sudden they just fall off a cliff.
For no reason.
Yep. You're like,
you never know why.
That was interesting.
Yeah, sometimes they get a better offer. Sometimes they hear something about you.
Sometimes they resurface like 6 months later.
Yeah, that happens a lot too. That happens in law quite often, actually. I'll get a call from someone. Yeah, look, let's say they're looking to start a business. I'm looking to start a business. I'm going to do this, that, or the other. And I'll be on the phone with them for half hour, an hour maybe. Sometimes I'll come in the office. It'll be 2 hours, and we'll strategize this, that, or the other. And then silence.
Yep.
And I'll reach out to them. We have a 3-5-7 rule here. We'll reach out to you in 3 days. 5 days after that, and 7 days after that. And if we don't hear from you, you don't want to hear from us anymore, I guess.
Right.
So we stop contacting you. So after that 357, then every once in a while, 4, 5, 6 months later, sometimes 2 years later,
They pop up.
they'll pop. And the funny thing is, and I know you get this too. The funny thing is, they expect that you know what they're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Like
met with you, 8 months ago about this, that, or the other, and you said that we'd be. Sure. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Happens a lot.
It happens all the time. So, I'm sorry to. I didn't say his name earlier. It's unstereotyped. I'm sorry that this happened to you, but this is very typical, very common in any business. Doesn't matter, law, marketing. What's he doing? Reputation management, right? Doesn't matter. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate reality when it comes to
And
business. And guess what? You're going to do it to somebody at some point too.
Correct.
Completely unintentional, I'm sure, but it happens. It'll happen.
Yeah,
And-
you serve on a board and you're like, oh, I heard of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we should hire him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're on a board, a lot of times you don't need more than, there's something off and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And that's enough to nix a contractor.
Even if you're not on a board, but you're a decision maker in
but,
some process.
But like he was saying, like it was a board.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon.
So good luck to you. Sorry it's not going to work out, but that's move on to other things, and you'll trust me, you'll find the bigger, better ones, and there's always other fish in the sea, as they say, right?
Correct.
That applies to a lot of things, not just
It does.
relationships.
It's life. If you found this clip interesting, make sure to go listen to the full podcast. There's lots more content there.